Hey, beautiful people, and welcome to the Beautè Hustle Podcast, where we educate and elevate in the beauty industry, but also have a really raw conversation. I'm your host, Beauty the Baby Boss, and y'all, I guess y'all can see we in a different type of scenery. You know, your girl is on the road, getting ready to educate y'all and elevate y'all. So today we are at Refresh Beauty Supply, located in St. Louis, Missouri, my hometown. Whoop whoop, with the owner, Miss Trinita. She is a former cosmetologist, 10 years behind the chair, someone who transitions to corporate, and now, baby, a boss is what you see. Okay, so let's get into the conversation because y'all know my last episode, I educated y'all on Black owned beauty supply stores, the pros, the cons, and how do we get into it? How do we be successful in it? And Miss Trinita here is to give us all of that information. So, Miss Trinita, exactly when did you know you wanted to start a beauty supply store?
Probably about 15 years ago, I think I, as a consumer, was just fed up with what that part of the industry looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the beauty supplies, there are so many products that really cater to us, but I never saw anybody behind the counter that looked like us.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly stopped shopping at the beauty supply probably 10 years before we even opened Beauty Supply Refresh.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew that I wanted to make an impact in that sector of the industry after being behind the chair for a
Mm-hmm.
while.
Okay, so that's mostly like a lot of us. Now, some people would say that it's easy for us being black, just because the fact that we are black, it's easy for us to open a beauty supply store. Is that true or false?
It could be a little bit of both, right? So, depending on how you define easy, I would say, in terms of being able to do it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can open any business. But I do think that this specific type of a business, having a beauty supply, is just not from a background perspective, meaning manufacturing, meaning distribution, how we get our products. None of that is really managed by Black people. There are very few in that part of the industry. So, yes, from that part, it makes it tougher. I wouldn't say it's false. I would say
Mm-hmm.
it just makes it a little bit harder to open up a beauty supply.
Yes, because I asked that because a lot of people get into this industry wanting beauty supply stores, but they think and rely on, just because the fact, like you said, behind in most beauty supply stores, we don't see representation of us behind the counters, the ownership. So they think, okay, I'm a black girl, black guy, what have you. I'm gonna open one, and that's gonna bring the black people to me automatically. And I know it's gonna be booming because I'm black. I know our hair. I know the products. Like I know all of that. And do you think that that narrative is true? Because I don't think it is. I
Mm,
think it's a microwavable mentality that a lot of people have, and they solely rely on just being black. And
yeah.
they think that, okay, once you open your doors, the folks are just gonna be coming in.
No.
And I don't think that they know that it's not like that at all.
Now, this is where I would say it's not easy
Mm-hmm.
because, just as you said, with that mindset, I think we really have to understand we are the minority
Mm-hmm.
in this part of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, to assume that I'm going to open my doors because I'm Black, I have all of these products that Black people use, and they're going to come, they will not come because it's unfamiliar territory. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when you really think about it, if the beauty supply has been around since what, maybe the 50s, 60s.
Mm-hmm.
We have not seen many people that look like us in this part of the industry. And so there's a trust and skepticism with our own people, which
It
seems
is.
crazy. But when you think about it, we didn't grow up going to Black owned beauty
Mm-hmm.
supplies,
Never heard of it.
probably.
Never.
And so when you see that, you're like, because it's so funny, we get so many questions when I pass out cards or flyers or whatever. And I say, "Hi, I'm Trinita with Beauty Supply Refresh. You know, where are you buying your beauty supply products from?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "You have a beauty supply, a real beauty supply?" And I
Yeah.
always wonder, what's a real
Real beauty
beauty supply?
supply.
But that's what they mean. And so the feedback is, most Black owned beauty supplies, we don't have what they need, and I think a lot of that is the financial aspect
Mm-hmm.
of the industry. It is
Yes.
a costly industry. It really is. So this part is not easy, just opening up your doors and assuming that all the Black people are going to come beating down your door. It takes a lot. You have to build that trust with your own community, which
Mm-hmm.
seems um that we shouldn't have to do that, but
Yeah.
we're not used to seeing us. So it's definitely, you have to prove yourself in this industry.
Talking about the cost, because in my last episode I did touch on when I was working in a beauty supply store. It was an African that owned it. She was young just like me. I was doing hair in the back, and she was expressing about her pricing, because I even noticed it when I walked in. I was like, oh girl,
Yeah.
these prices are pretty high. And she
Yeah.
was like, well, I don't know what to do. People come in, they see the prices, they walk out, versus they'll go, down the street or whatever to get it for a cheaper price. Do you think that that has something to do with the manufacturers itself, or like how does that work?
Absolutely. You have to think about cost purchasing in a unit perspective, right? So when
Mm-hmm.
you're a retail store, you're buying things either by cases, by units, by multitudes. So if I am a single store, I may only be able to buy 12 to 24 in a quantity, let's just say of Shine and Jam,
Mm-hmm.
whereas another established store that may have um, 4 or 5 stores, if there are 6 to a case and I can only afford 2 cases, which is 12,
Mm-hmm.
that store might be buying 100 cases
Yeah.
because they're supplying more. So then that cost per unit comes
It's
down.
down. Yeah.
And so, yes, because you are trying to make a profit, my price may be a little bit higher
Mm-hmm.
until I can grow a little
Yeah.
bit more. And so that's one of the things I do tell people. One of the things I used to always share with our customers, we didn't have a lot when we opened this store. And I said, just shop with us. And as you shop with
We
us,
can
we
grow.
can grow.
Yes.
And that's what we've done. And so I remember when we were first getting sensational hair,
Mm-hmm.
our hair was maybe $7.99 a pack for 24 inches when people are typically buying the pack for $5.99. Well, it took us a little time to get there. I mean, like maybe a couple of years to be able to buy
Mm.
like a pallet of
Yeah.
hair, which is 24 boxes of hair.
Yeah.
When you're a new store, I don't need 24 boxes
Boxes.
of
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
And so when you think about that, I probably couldn't afford 24 boxes of hair when that other store can.
Yeah.
So it is a big gap when you first start out, but I think it's definitely where we as Black owned beauty supplies, that's when we need to be banding together
Yes.
and purchasing together.
Yes.
And so that's what I advocate for.
Since we're still on the topic about cost and everything like that, could you say what would be like the the predicted amount to even open one?
It's a tough question because I definitely think location matters. When you think about the fact, just to put this in perspective,
Mm-hmm.
consider all your business costs, right? You have to pay rent. It's just like having a house. You have to pay your electric bills, your power. If you have internet, you have to pay your POS systems, things of that sort. But just from the retail perspective of having products, one account can cost you $5,000. And that's just to buy into that product. And you will have to purchase $5,000
Dollars
worth
worth
of
of,
product, whether
yes.
you need it or not. And I'll use, let's as an example, sensational. I think it's cost us probably $5,000 just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about that as well, you're not moving $5,000 worth of
Initial,
hair
yeah.
that quickly initially, but here I am with $5,000 worth of hair that I'm hoping will sell.
Mm-hmm.
And I think probably a good amount to target would be at least 20,000 plus, because you have to give yourself some wiggle room. If
Mm-hmm.
you only have one supplier and you are only selling sensational hair, that's just one when you have a multitude of different brands out there
Mm-hmm.
that customers want. And as women, if you don't have what we need, we're going to go somewhere
Somewhere
else
else.
and get it. But I think 20,000 or more would be an acceptable start,
Mm-hmm.
where you can probably diversify your product selection, meaning your hair, your chemicals, your accessories, and different things. But again, that's where it comes, the benefit of partnering with other Black owned beauty supplies can help kind of offset that sum.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to so you said roughly about 20K or more to start. what would you say would be like, what was like the turnaround for you to see like some actual profit? What year were you in business? Because a lot of people get into businesses thinking, okay, this gonna make me some
Mhm.
immediate money. I'm gonna be a millionaire in like 5 months. Like, what would you say was the turning point
I
for
would
your
probably
business?
say year 1.5. So after a year and a half, and granted, this was us considerably reinvesting our money every time. I mean, like literally, when we're selling through things, we're only reordering what we need.
Mm-hmm.
We're not branching off into more product unless there are more requests for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of the things that I would highly help our customers understand. By the time 3 or 4 more customers ask for the same product,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I'm bringing it into the store, because you can fall down this rabbit hole of one person coming in
Yeah.
asking, and you will freak out, because I had moments like that where, oh my God, they need
This
this and we
product,
don't
yeah,
have it,
yeah.
and that person would never come back into the store again. But here you are spending, and keeping in mind, each time you're ordering, these are 3,000, 5,000, $10,000 limits that you have to
To
meet
meet,
to
yeah.
bring in a
Just
full
that
load of
one
product.
product.
Well, to bring in to satisfy those suppliers. So with a chemical, for example, where you may be getting all your oils, your shining jams, your gels, shampoos, conditioners,
Mm-hmm.
you may have to spend $3,500 with that supplier to get an entire order.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just say, oh, can I just get shining jam? No,
No.
you have to spend $3,500.
Yeah.
So make that count. And so again, every time we were rolling through product, I would just make sure we were reordering exactly what customers were asking.
Mm-hmm.
I started putting out surveys, understanding what the needs were, and that's what we would order. And so with that, then you can kind of save your money, because sometimes, like we did this, we other beauty supplies would close, and we would go buy up their product. Well, it wasn't
Mm.
selling for them. So now you know what? It's sitting
Yes.
on our shelves. And here
Yeah.
we are spending $1,000 or $2,000 to make our shelves full, but for
But
product that
the
doesn't
nonsense to
even move.
sell. Yeah.
And so we had no idea. We just knew, oh, we don't have this here. Let's go get this. Hopefully somebody would purchase it. And so we really had to quickly get smarter and understand what customers really needed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say a year and a half, but that's really being dedicated
Dedicated.
to your
Yeah.
business. And that dedication is tough. That's saying no to vacations, and no to going out, and no to eating out and hanging out. And our families wouldn't see us because we were working our
Mm-hmm.
store and cutting down on your other resources. We didn't have, I worked the store. We initially started with a manager and I think another person, and then that didn't really work. So I came to work the store. And
Mm-hmm.
when I say work, I mean 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And so for me, that was, I'm not paying myself what I would pay, an employee.
Mm-hmm.
This is our bread and butter. I
Yeah.
know that I'm not going to quit on myself. So I'm going to be here until our finances get better to be able to afford employees. So it's a sacrifice. It is
Mm-hmm.
a sacrifice. And I think we took the right steps. It was very hard, but within a year and a half, I feel like we were able to breathe a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
start bringing some employees in.
Yeah. And if you think about it, y'all, a year and a half is really not that long.
Not that long.
It's not that long. And a year and a half of, like she said, dedication, her showing up. Because a lot of people think, okay, if I open a brick and mortar, I automatically got to get employees in because I just want to be the face of the business. I just want to make the money. But no, sometimes you got to get in the mud with
Yes.
them. You got to get in the mud with your business, because at the end of the day, it's your business. And if you automatically put people behind the register, if anything goes wrong, all that falls back on you.
On you.
You know what I'm saying? And how do you truly know what the business is in totality if you haven't been in it? You
You
know what
have
I'm
to
saying?
work your business, and that's what we took the time to do, to work our own business.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when someone comes in, we can give them adequate training.
Mm-hmm.
Training is so important, and you said it, like, we'll stand up a business because we want to have a business. I'm a boss.
Yeah.
Well, that door, the hours on that door dictates my life,
Yep.
because you have to show up for your customers. So I work for you all.
Yeah.
I work for you all. I don't just work for me and I'm just a boss. It's the fact that I want to provide a wonderful experience for our customers. So if I say
Mm-hmm.
we're open from 9 to 8, I'm here from 9 to 8. And that's I think it's definitely a mindset change with understanding having your own business does not mean that you just get to do whatever you want to do.
Talk about it. And it doesn't mean you get to show up whenever you want to show up, because I think that's one of the stigmas that we have as black owned businesses. You'll go on Google, it'll say they open. You pull up and the doors ain't open.
Yes.
The store is not
Yes.
open. But that's because of that so-called boss mentality. I can do whatever I want to do. I can show up whenever I want to show up. But the thing is, when you have a business like this, you are working for the people. This is not about you, but we need our hair done. I need some bundles. I need something. And if you're in your neighborhood,
yes,
and you know, now I gotta go drive all the way across town.
exactly.
And then, and not with black people, okay, she wasn't open.
And we'll
I'm not
talk
finna come
about each
back.
other
Yeah.
quicker.
Like, I'm not finna go back.
Yes.
Like, why are you not open?
Yes.
You got to get your money. You got to get the money when it's hot. If your business says it's open from 9 to 8, like she said, be open from 9 to 8
Yes.
and get that money. It doesn't matter if it's a slow day. Okay, it may be a slow day Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but come Thursday, you're
Yes.
booming.
Yes.
You're booming because God sees that you are patient. You're putting in the work and you're willing to do whatever it takes to make this a success.
And that's what happens. And my word of mouth is the best when you're doing the right thing.
Mhm.
Because when I opened our doors this morning, it's Sunday, we opened from 10 to 4. And the first thing our customers said, they were on the parking lot. We glad you always open on time. That's the feedback I want to
Mhm.
hear. That's the feedback I want to hear. So, yes, do what you need to do.
So for the first year and a half, you said you had a manager.
Hmm.
And is that manager still here?
No.
Like, no? Okay, so when did you have, like, you said it took you a year and a half to, like, really see a turnaround.
Yes.
Do you now have, like, a full staff employee? Like, do you just come when it's needed, or how is that?
We do have a full staff of people, probably about 3 that are here consistently. We have one person that's seasonal, but I'm in our store every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I am here every single day. I have a little bit more flexibility to go out, but I'm typically still running errands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working our store when I'm out there. I'm having meetings. I'm going to connect with communities,
Mm-hmm.
to schools, just really trying to let everybody know that Beauty Supply Refresh exists. And so even when I'm not here, I'm working. And so I feel
Absolutely.
that's what is important to me. We're moving to a space where I think I'll probably be off on Sundays, which I'm
Okay,
excited about
all
that
right.
after 4 years. But it's really, we understand the dedication that it takes because we want to see what's going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Beauty Supply Refresh number 2? Is there a number 3? And I'm not going to get there behind the scenes. I have
Mm-hmm.
to be in, like you said, in the mud with my team. And I may not physically be here 12 hours a day like I
Mm-hmm.
used to be, but I'm here every single day.
Yeah, you getting in the streets and you getting
Yes.
to it, because a lot of people think, especially with beauty supply stores, they think, like, even with hair salons, like when I worked in a hair salon back in Arkansas, oh, the salon operates itself. It does what it do, and I'm just like, no, it don't.
No, it does not.
No, like, you, if social media isn't working, where I come from, how I grew up, baby, you get out in the streets and go
Yes.
get it. Like, I used to go walk up and down the Delmar Loop with my flyers that I made off a Word doc and everything like that. Like, it's more than just saying you got a building.
Exactly.
It's more than just, it's so much more than that.
Mhm.
And like she said, even though she has a team, even though she's not physically in this building, she's out in the streets getting those connections. You know what I'm saying? Bringing the folks to the store, which is why her store is successful the way it is, and she's moving to a bigger location because she's doing everything that she has to do to make sure this is a success. Okay, and it's not just saying I got a beauty supply store, I'm black owned. It's none of that. Like, and I think that's why a lot of black owned beauty supply stores close after so often. Most of them close within 6 months because they have that type of mentality and they're really not going out there to go get it. Like, you got to go get these accounts. You got to go go to the news, go to
Yes.
the career fairs. Like you have to do
You
that.
have to. And not understanding what it took to get here
Hmm.
in the first place. Because I think again, we have this misconception. Oh, you look at the fact that we know that this is a need. Beauty
Yes.
supply stores are a need. Women
Hmm.
are going to look good. Men are
Yeah.
going to look good.
Hmm.
These items are sellable. However, not understanding what that looks like in terms of purchasing and managing, that's where we fall short.
Hmm.
That's where we fall short. Anybody can go get a building and pay the rent for a couple of months, but can you own that building? Can
Hmm.
you sustain? How do you become sustainable? And so that you have to do your research, do your demographics. Oh
Hmm.
my goodness, demographics is so important in understanding your community. Who's going to shop here? And so, doing your homework before you even open a store, that's the biggest necessity. And then
Hmm.
that's how you're going to succeed in understanding what you're going to do to be sustainable. And so, yes, as you said, I'm out here in the streets.
So, what are some things that, far as like doing our research, what would be some things that you would suggest? Because a lot of us, we are in the unknown. You know,
Hmm.
somebody could be watching this wanting to open a beauty supply store, but they have literally no idea where to even start. Like,
Yeah.
where would you say we should start if we're wanting to open
I would say understand your demographics. Look at locations that you're interested in. Number one, look at what's around there. You know, are there salons around there? Are there communities around there?
one?
All around us are nothing but neighborhoods.
Hmm.
We also have grocery stores that are close. So knowing those specific dynamics of what's going to
Mm-hmm.
pull
The
traffic,
foot
you know,
traffic,
so
yeah.
yes, the foot
Hmm.
traffic. So I know we have a butcher shop right here. We have a nail salon. People are going to the nail, and this
Every
nail
day.
salon has been here 20 years.
Yeah.
So understanding those other businesses as
Hmm.
well. How
Yep.
long have they been in business? Because if somebody's been in business 20 years, I feel you
Yeah. You got a
definitely
good
have,
chance. Yeah.
yes. So I think understanding that location, demographics, understanding just basically how much is rent going to cost. Can you afford that? Can you, if you don't have customers for the next 30 to 60 days, can you at least afford to pay your rent?
Hmm.
Thinking about that, understanding what types of products to purchase. We know what products cost. So if you think about having customers and how I had to start training my mind, if I have a box of hair, if you buy one box of hair, it typically comes in a box of 60. You
Hmm.
have to start thinking about, well, what's the average amount of hair that one person gets? Four
Hmm.
to five packs,
Yeah.
6 packs. So
When it comes
maybe
to
out of
braids,
this
yeah.
box of hair, I can service 20 people. And you
Hmm.
start thinking that way. And you know, Shine and Jam, everybody gets gel when they buy braided hair.
Hmm.
Well, if I only have, do I have enough to sustain me an entire week?
Hmm.
Because a case may cost you $40, so
Hmm.
when you start thinking about those things and all the products that you need, hair color, combs, rubber bands, I mean, just start highlighting those basic needs, which I will be consulting very soon too. um, I have helped people understand a basic footprint of what you should have in your store on
Hmm.
day one.
Hmm.
And it's not that hard, but it is costly. That's the
Hmm.
biggest thing, kind of understanding some of the cost, location, understanding your demographics, the cost, talking to the community.
Hmm.
Go into other beauty supplies. I go to into other beauty supplies to see what
Period.
they have. They come
Yeah.
in here, so
And
we
yeah.
go in there,
Yeah. Scope
and
the
look
scenery.
around.
Yeah.
And you look at the landscape of it. So I think really understanding, and if you do that, just go into a different beauty supply and take your lens off from a shopper and put it into an owner,
Yeah.
you will really understand, like, this is a whole lot of money in here.
It is. Yeah.
It's a lot of money. So it's a very expensive game, but I think it's definitely doable though. I'm excited to be in this space. I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. I really wouldn't.
Do you think your background with being a hairstylist has helped you in the selling aspect with the products? Because again, you are a natural hairstylist. I myself specialize in healthy hair maintenance, and we are very key on what you put in your hair, what it does to it, the pros and the cons. Do you think that that has helped you, like once you get your customers in the store and just educating them on the products and everything like that? Do you think that that has helped a lot?
Absolutely, because the first thing that, I have locks. So as soon as somebody with locks walk in the door, you have locks. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And I think our customers love the fact we don't try to oversell them. I'll always ask
Mm-hmm.
somebody because, TikTok tells us to do everything. So the newest thing that's out, we want to come and try it. And I'll tease them and I say, I just saw you in here a couple of days ago. Did you
Mm-hmm.
use up all that gel?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no. And I say, if it's not harming your hair,
Mm-hmm.
use it, then
Yeah.
try something else. And they love that because I could easily sell them every single time
Yep.
they walk
Sure
into the
can.
store.
Yep.
But you know what they're going to do? They're going to keep coming back.
Yes.
And so being able to talk to them about understanding their products, reading labels, do you
Mm-hmm.
have any allergies? We have a lot of customers with tree nut allergies. My daughter suffers from a tree nut allergy. And so if you use coconut oil, that comes from a tree. And so many of us use coconut oil or
Mm-hmm.
shea butter, that comes
Mm-hmm.
from a tree.
True.
And so we don't think about those things. So when I highlight to someone because they're experiencing irritation because of some product, read the label. And that's
Yes.
one thing
Oh
that we don't
Lord.
do is
I
read.
stress that so much.
We do not read the labels. And so absolutely my background in cosmetology helps to educate. Yep, I love that.
I love that. Because I'm very big on, even when my clients sit in my chair, once I get in their head, I'm like, okay, what products are you using at home?
Hmm.
What are you using? Okay, tell me what it does to your hair.
Hmm.
What results are you seeing? And once they tell me, oh, I don't see any results, yeah, because you're using this shampoo from that brand, this conditioner from
Yep.
that brand.
They don't
Honey,
understand their texture, their porosity.
none of
They
it.
just using anything because what's so funny, we would get guys in here
Hmm.
and you can basically walk a man through anything and they like, just tell me what to get,
Yeah,
sis.
just
Just
tell
tell
me
me
what
what
to
to get.
get.
Because I've been washing my hair with lotion or
Oh my
dishwashing
gosh,
liquid.
the men are the worst. They are the worst.
And so we love when they come in because men are really getting into grooming. And
They
so when
are,
they come in
yes.
here and
Hmm.
they literally want the knowledge. And so we pride ourselves in that, even my team. And I love having the younger girls too. We have a couple of high school girls that work with us because I'm not the edge control person, but
Hmm.
they can help,
Yeah.
you know, even, people as old as I am, what's the best edge control? Which we always say, well, it may not be the best for you,
You.
but
Uh
this is
huh.
what I use on my
Yes.
hair, and these are the results I get.
Yes.
So we definitely help to educate, and my background has definitely helped with that.
I love that because one thing that I mentioned in my last video was that for me, I don't understand why Black people wouldn't gravitate towards us once they see that there is a Black owned beauty supply store because they know we know about our hair, we know about the products versus the others do not, and it shows. And I that just baffled me as they don't trust us.
But we haven't, you know what? And I agree with that to an extent, Beauty. But think about it. We don't give each other an experience sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's that inherently you black, I'm black, come patronize me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I tell people all the time, don't shop with us just because
Because we're
we're
Black.
black. You're doing experience. So we owe each other an experience. And
Mm-hmm.
it goes back to being open on time.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome your customers when they come in. People want to be, how many times have you just ran to grab something to eat and they say not one
One
word
word.
to you?
Yeah, you
That's
like,
not,
oh,
I don't care if you black
yeah,
or you blue. I don't want to shop with you
yeah.
anymore. So I really think once you have to get them in the door first. So
Mm-hmm.
when you get them in the door, give them something that's going to make them come back. And that's what we try to do. We're very hands on. We're very approachable. We're very intentional about your shopping experience.
Mm-hmm.
So first, come in because of the experience and then come back because we black owned and you love that experience.
Period.
Yes.
And do you think a lot of your corporate background has helped with just how you formed the business and everything like that, with the professionalism, the etiquette, and everything like that?
Absolutely. If corporate taught me nothing else, it was the fact that if you didn't have the customer experience,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have customers.
Mm-hmm.
And I've managed quite a few teams in my background, and that was what we did. We knew there was a way to talk to our customers. Yes, I may get upset, but that doesn't mean I have to beat you down. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean I have to yell at you. There's a way to handle that. I also know that it helped me informing the accounts that we've been able to capture as well. Because again, as I was telling you earlier, I had to humble myself when we didn't get certain accounts. I could have went off on them, but
Mm-hmm.
that still wasn't going to get me anywhere,
Yeah.
because you know what? The culture that really has this industry, they don't need us.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do not need us. So they're not losing anything. And we're kind of at their mercy when we're trying to get these accounts. So it's in my best interest to remain professional. Also, within our training, I tell our customers, the first thing you hear when somebody comes in is welcome. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not say that, I'm looking like, we just had a customer that came in and they weren't welcome. It's inherent, and we end the day or end when customers leave, we always say it's so funny now because I say it so much. I tell all of our customers, all right, see you next time. Now they say it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm setting that tone for we're going to see each other again. And I mean, when
Mm-hmm.
you get that level of customer service, our hope is that you're going to come back, and that's what we get. So
Mm-hmm.
my corporate background has taught me how to form and build relationships, how to be able to partner with other cultures, and how to make sure that we keep the doors open. And so, yes, I'm very appreciative of that too.
A question that I would have if I had, because I have my own products, how would how does that work with me wanting to specifically bring my products to your store? Like, how does that work?
That's such a great question, and I wish people would think about that too. So again, professionalism works both ways, and what I can appreciate is one, if you understand we are both business women, and you set up an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you stop in and say, "Hi, my name is Beauty. I have this fabulous product that I know would be wonderful inside of your store.
Mm-hmm.
When can I get 15 minutes of your time?" Instead of, and bring show,
Bring,
have
yes,
something
bring
to
the
show,
product. Yes.
because what we receive is I don't know, you know, and they want to stand right here and talk about the product without any information, because one of the first things I'm going to say, well, how long you've been in business, how
Mm-hmm.
many have you sold, what's your wholesale price, and what do you sell it for retail? And
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't imagine the amount of people that don't know how much their product is worth. And
Wow.
so when they tell me, as an example, I had someone that wanted to sell their lashes in the store, and I said, well, what do you retail them for? And they were $10. And I said, well, what would you sell them to me wholesale for? She said $10.
No,
And
that's not how that works.
I said, well, I wouldn't be able to make any profit if I sold them for what you sell them, because they're going to continue to come to you. And how do I make a profit? And I've taken the time for some younger ladies to
Mm-hmm.
really break it down for them to understand their profit margins and understand how much they're paying for their product, to go back and do their research. But we shouldn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a business person, you should understand those things. And so typically it's a conversation, it's a meeting, it's understanding all of those things. It's me determining, as a team, actually, we will come together quarterly and look through some of the products that we've had. If you bring us samples, we love that,
Mm-hmm.
because I love presentation. We are big fans on presentation, and then do have something that's different.
Yes.
Have something that's different, and then we definitely are in partnership with a few local business owners that we sell their product, because they
Mm-hmm.
do well, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what else I want. I mean, I would love to have everybody's product, but is it going to sell?
That part.
Is it going to we are a for profit business, and so I try to help people understand that too. If you haven't sold any,
How we gonna sell it just because it's in the folks' face? That
exactly,
that just because it's in a store does not mean it's gonna sell.
exactly.
That does not mean that.
No, it does not. And so it's just a process. And then we kind of have this conversation. And then usually we put it on a pilot program
Mm-hmm.
for 30, 60, 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
We do a meet and greet in store,
Okay.
have the person pop up in the store, and then we provide them the feedback. And typically within 90 days, I feel that's a good time frame to
Yeah.
determine if something's really going to move.
Yeah.
I encourage them to come up often and kind of partner with our customers and highlight their product.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to work well for us. And if it doesn't move, then, I may not carry it anymore. But we have had great success with some of the local business people we partner with.
Yeah. And when you bring your products, like she said, you have to be professional. Stop thinking just because it's a black owned business that you can just walk in here any kind of way and talk any kind of talk. Like, no, you wouldn't do that for those down the way. So don't do it. When it comes to our own people, come with your decorum, your professionalism, have your product, and sell yourself.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, yes, it's a black owned beauty supply store, but they don't have to take your product. When you walking into an establishment and you're trying to be professional, get those connections and build those business relationships, you have to sell yourself. And everything in totality, from the way you look, how you dress, how your hair is, and like you said, the presentation of the product and everything, y'all have to think of those things when you're wanting to level up, because you never know. You bring your product into the store, they accept it, it's selling. You gotta now. It's in demand.
Yes.
It's in demand to keep it on the shelves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
A wonderful
That
thing.
is a wonderful thing, especially with social media these days. A lot of beauty supply stores, just like her, have their business on social media. They're posting the products and everything. So you guys want to make sure that when you walk in, you come with it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you can make some money. Get your brand out there, because you got the goods. The store needs the goods and wants to sell it, but y'all got to do y'all part and come with the professionalism as well.
Watch Shark Tank. I tell people that a lot. I love Shark Tank.
Shark Tank is good.
Watch Shark Tank to see how you should present your product.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. I think it's a wonderful resource to use. But yes, come correct, please.
Period. Y'all heard what she said. Okay, so we know this is your first location. This is your baby. What's next? Because I know God is doing a lot for you. This store is packed to the brim. So what's next? What's next?
So what's next is Beauty Supply Refresh has been here for 4 years, and we are bursting at the seams. We are so excited to be moving into our new expanded location. We will be closing down this store, literally in the same plaza. You will have close to 4,000 square feet to shop in now. And so I'm telling you, I'm so excited for the new location. We hope to be in that store by Thanksgiving. We will have a grand reopening December 13th through the 15th. And I feel like this is just a true testament to when you stay the course. It's not always easy at all, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it. So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited. And y'all already know we're going to come with the content for the grand opening, because we love when black owned businesses in general, that are leveling up in every way possible. This is a good conversation.
Yes.
I think they learned a lot today.
I
know I definitely did. I'm taking notes. Y'all taking notes? I'm taking notes too, because your girl trying to elevate too. So thank y'all for tuning in to today's episode. Y'all, I hope y'all were educated and elevated today on black owned businesses and beauty supply stores in totality. Don't forget to comment down some other topics or places that y'all want to visit. If you are a black owned beauty supply store, look, it's room for everybody on this platform. And I definitely want you here to interview you and tell your story, because everybody's story is different and you don't know how many people you can touch. Okay. Until next time, guys. Bye.